Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to see you all again. Before I start, can I ask if there's any questions or anything you would like to know more from the previous session? Everything covered? Did you manage to try some of the activities?
Yes.
Were they okay? Fabulous. So today we've got two sessions again. The first one is about the weather, so the weather around us, and the second one is all about forces. So when we're talking about the weather, what is the difference between weather and climate? What is weather? Let's start with the...
Rain,
Yeah?
sun, snow, clouds.
Absolutely. So it's the conditions that we're experiencing at the moment. So it is a certain amount of humidity, a certain amount of sunlight, a certain amount of wind, and so on and so forth. So it's a combination of all these factors. When people talk about climate, what do they mean? It does have a lot to do with...
It be like one times another, or
Yes, that's exactly it. So climate is kind of like the average, the averages of different factors at different times of the year. So it's monitoring weather patterns over a very long period of time. So generally speaking, when we're talking about climate, we would talk, let's say, how May was for the last 30 years, and we would take the average, and then we would say if kind of like this May was warmer or wetter or colder or windier than what we would expect as an average. So climate goes for over many years, whereas weather is what we're experiencing at the moment. Now, we did have a habitat activity last week, and as you say, the weather really depends on where you are on the globe as well. So we've got the tropics, which are kind of like on either side of the equator. Then we're kind of like on the temperate climate, slightly above that. So what does temperate climate mean? It can be. It means that it's got kind of like different seasons. So we've got a spring, we've got a summer, we've got a winter, and we've got an autumn. And generally speaking, summer would be warm, the warmest. Winter would be the coldest, and kind of like spring and autumn would be somewhere in between. So what drives our weather? Not so much the moon. The sun, yes. So all our weather kind of like pretty much depends from the sun. And in order to start talking about how the sun affects kind of like the weather, you might want to do an activity which is quite simple. So could I ask for a volunteer to be the earth and one to be the sun, please?
oh, fine, I'll be there.
Thank you.
You do the sun? Yeah, thought you would.
Thank you
You're fine,
so much. So the sun is very far away, so it doesn't really touch the earth. So how does it affect its climate? So,
The sun is really far.
yes, although it's very far away, how does it affect the climate on earth? The heat and the light. So there is some energy that is coming from the earth from the sun to the earth. So this ribbon is just to show kind of like energy transfer from the sun to the earth. So if the sun can start waving the ribbon, so light is coming and hitting earth as a wave.
Okay.
So and although you don't touch, you actually can sense the motion.
Yep.
So that is something that you can start kind of like laying the basics of the our weather patterns and the water cycle.
Yeah.
So because of the heat of the sun, what happens to water on Earth? It evaporates, which is the first step of the... Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So then you can start talking about the water cycle.